decimate American communities by targeting immigrants for mass deportations.
And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty.
I just want him to go because he will kill all of us over here. I don't want no trouble.
The BAM.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
With Donald Trump's return to the White House, this isn't just political news, it's a crisis in the making. Imagine living in a country you've called home for years, only to wake up one day facing the very real threat of being torn away from it. For immigrant communities across the United States, this isn't some distant fear, it's their new reality. Now here's something even more striking. The immigrant population in the United States is larger than ever. In states like New York and Florida, entire communities, especially those of Caribbean descent, are woven deeply into the fabric of American life. For Jamaicans in particular, places like Brooklyn, the Bronx and Miami have become synonymous with home. These are neighborhoods where Jamaican culture, language and food have flourished, where people work hard, pay taxes and contribute to the economy just like everyone else. But with Trump's re-election, these very communities are on edge, uncertain about what tomorrow might bring. Yet, this fear isn't just about what might happen, it's rooted in what already has. We've seen how Trump's immigration policies were handled during his first term, and the effects were nothing short of devastating. Families separated, neighborhoods raided, and a climate of fear so pervasive that it made people question their every move. That was just the beginning. Keep watching, because further down in this video, we'll reveal the full scale of what might be coming. It's more than just policy changes, it's a direct impact on people's lives. As we step into this new era, it's essential to look at Trump's stance on immigration. He's made it clear that he views immigration as a threat, something to be dealt with rather than a vital part of the American story. This isn't just speculation, it's a message he's repeated over and over, with promises to take back our country and secure our borders by any means necessary. In Trump's vision, deportation isn't just a tool, it's a priority. And now, with power back in his hands, he has the influence and authority to enforce it on a scale we may have never seen before. But this isn't just about words. Trump's approach to immigration sends a powerful signal to immigrant communities. To him, America First isn't just a slogan, it's a mandate to reshape who belongs and who doesn't. Immigrants, particularly those without documentation, now feel the walls closing in. And for Jamaicans in the United States, the anxiety is palpable. Families who've spent years building lives here, working jobs, contributing to society, and raising children who know no other home, suddenly find themselves wondering, are we next? If you are enjoying this video, please give us a like and share it with a friend. It does amazing things for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. And speaking of communities, let's talk numbers. The immigrant population in the United States stands at around 45 million, with immigrants making up about 14% of the total population. That's a substantial portion of America's workforce, its economy, and its cultural diversity. In New York alone, Jamaican immigrants have carved out a significant presence, from small businesses in Brooklyn to cultural institutions across the city. Florida isn't any different. Cities like Miami have become havens for Caribbean culture, with Jamaicans playing a crucial role in the local economy. For Jamaican communities, the stakes couldn't be higher. Think about it. These are people who have contributed to the US economy for decades. They've built businesses, paid taxes, and become essential workers in industries ranging from healthcare to hospitality. But the fear isn't just about losing jobs or homes, it's about losing stability, security, and for many, the only life they've known. And it's not only Jamaicans feeling this weight. Immigrants from all backgrounds are bracing themselves, fearing that Trump's return could mean the end of their American dream. And if you're finding value in this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us bring you content that sheds light on the stories that matter, the ones that affect real people's lives. Together, we can dive deeper into these topics, giving voice to those who need it most. But we can't ignore the history here. We've been down this road before, and the memories are still fresh. During Trump's first term, policies like family separations and travel bans weren't just political statements, they were lived realities. People saw their families ripped apart, faced with impossible choices, and an immigration system that seemed more punitive than protective. For many immigrants, including Jamaicans, this period marked a time of heightened fear and insecurity. And while some found ways to stay resilient, others faced the full weight of the government's crackdown on undocumented residents. Yet here's the thing, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Trump's approach to immigration didn't end when he left office. The impact lingered, leaving scars that immigrant communities still carry today. And now, with him back in power, the fear is that these policies won't just return, they'll intensify.
He calls the largest deportation program in American history on day one of his new term.
And that message resonated with more voters this year than ever before. In an NBC News exit poll from Election Day, 40% of voters across the nation said undocumented immigrants should be deported. That's a 15% jump from when Mr. Trump was first elected to the White House back in 2016.
This isn't just about one group or one community, it's about millions of people who are woven into the very fabric of this nation. And for those watching, what comes next might just shake the foundations of America's immigrant legacy. Keep watching, because as we go further, we'll dive into Trump's new power dynamic, his control over the Senate, the House, and possibly the judiciary. This isn't just political theatre. It's a setup that gives him unprecedented power to turn his immigration vision into reality. Just political theatre. It's a setup that gives him unprecedented power to turn his immigration vision into reality. And if you think the policies we've discussed so far are tough, the ones coming up may be even more drastic. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel as yet, now is the time. And the idea that the American dream is still alive for everyone. Harris, with her immigrant roots, stood as a figure who understood the struggles and aspirations of immigrant communities. Her loss, though, signals something much larger. It's not just the loss of a candidate, it's the loss of a vision, a promise that immigrants could be heard and respected at the highest levels of power. Without her voice in the White House, many feel isolated, left to navigate this new reality without representation. And it's not just about Harris's loss. Trump's victory didn't come by a small margin. He swept the electoral votes, winning by a decisive number that shows his support across the country remains strong. But it's not just the presidency he's secured. Trump now has control over both the Senate and the House. This isn't just about a single branch of government. It's a complete takeover that could redefine American policy for years to come. Think about the implications of that. The Senate, the House, and potentially even the judiciary under his influence. Trump now has control over both the Senate and the House. This isn't just about a single branch of government. It's a complete takeover that could redefine American policy for years to come. Think about the implications of that. The Senate, the House, and potentially even the judiciary under his influence mean that Trump's ability to shape policy is nearly unrestricted. This isn't just a shift in leadership, it's a consolidation of power that hands Trump the tools to enact his vision without much opposition. And for immigrant communities, that vision is troubling. With control over these three branches, he could introduce and pass legislation that tightens borders, restricts visas,